20th May 2019.
What day?
Monday, 7:19 p.m. We're good to go. What brings you to Latvia and what are your impressions?
Okay, let's start. The story began. No, okay, let's be simple. I'm coming here for a project, a European project, Erasmus Plus, Youth Exchange. It's called I Am Being, and it was in Rites, if you know. It's a place close by to Kegums.
What's it called?
The place, Rites.
Jesus.
It's a
But I don't know what Jacobs says.
an excursion place, yes. I will have a project there. Now, actually, it was the advanced plant meeting visit. So we met with the group leaders of different countries and we organized some stuff, let's say, about how the project is gonna go, what we have to do in our national groups and stuff like that. And now, okay, the topic of the project. It's something really interesting, new to me. It's mindfulness and meditation.
What? Mindfulness?
Mindfulness, meditation.
Sounds like hippie stuff.
Yeah, it is hippie stuff. That's why I told you it's new for me. Let's say the main reason I want to go to this project is to get out of my comfort zone. As I told you, this all is new to me. I've not just tried meditation once or twice because people were telling me, oh, you can see stuff, and it didn't work for me. So I'm like, okay, let's do it for like a bit more seriously, and other reasons for this particular project. I've heard the organizers here are very good. They make good projects. They change people's lives. From what I've heard.
So they use drugs then?
It might surprise you, but no drugs, no alcohol at all, and that was a shock for me also. I met them. They're very calm, yes, hippie, but calm and happy people. That's what hippie means, right?
I actually don't know.
I think it's
I think it's more of probably some combination of some words. Well, let's just check.
Yeah, I think it's happy and something else.
Might be. So, hippie.
But anyway, it was.
The word hippie came from hipster, and it was used to describe beatniks. What? So hip, right? And then it's supposed to be up to date. All right.
Wouldn't call it up to date.
The word hip is in the sense of aware, in the know. So it's basically esoteric people.
But it's very descriptive of these people because that was their main focus, to being aware of now and all this, I would say, helpful stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it about what brings me here. Of course, I have some friends I would love to see again from similar experiences, not meditation necessary, but projects in different countries. Yeah, and that's it. That's why I'm here.
And about the impressions?
The impressions.
So you've been actually to more than just Riga then?
Yes, of course. You mean in Latvia? I mean, not traveling around. I went to Kegums and we hiked like 12-15 kilometers to go to Rites. Okay, the hike was also an initiation process and stuff like that. About Latvia, my impressions and Latvian people, because this is what matters for me. Riga is very European, I would say, surprisingly European. The architecture reminds me of a lot of European countries and capitals. Amazing. I don't know. The parks are amazing. I come from Greece and I live in Athens. And trust me, I don't know if you love the parks or not, but trust me, if you came to Greece, you would have a cultural shock. Not only about there is no parks like this. There are some, but not the way of living, the cities. Okay.
You have better climate.
Yeah, but the climate is now this time of the year it's similar. But the thing that would make the difference is people here look calm. You know, they walk on the street, they wait for the traffic lights like normal people, I would say. Yeah, come to Greece, there will be no running people just crossing the street wherever they want. The architecture is completely different. Okay, more people and a lot of different stuff. But if it was the first European capital I visited, I would be shocked. But okay, I've gotten used to it with more travels on this. And the people, this is where the good begins, the good stuff. I've met also some Latvians before coming to Riga, and I had the impression, I think because I met them in certain premises, you know, there were projects for specific people, let's say. I had the impression of at least these people were calm and maybe a bit more spiritual also. And then I came here and I don't know, I have this feeling of relaxation, and almost a lot of people I meet have this, you know, calm attitude. And for a Greek that we have this character, like this fire, let's say.
Greek? Really?
I mean,
I thought Italians had that.
I would say all Mediterraneans, but yeah, of course Italians.
I thought Greeks just like to drink ouzo.
Come on and make the joke, not pay their debts. Yeah, we like that too. I think Mediterraneans look alike in a lot of aspects. Also,
technically that's true, because if you would like, you could actually sell yourself, to me at least, as a Turkish dude.
I know I could.
Yeah,
100%. You're not the first guy to tell me not to sell myself, but that I am maybe a Turkish, maybe some have called me Syrian, some have called me, I don't know, Armenian.
Have people thought that you are a refugee?
Croatia, the police officer put us in a jail because they thought we were immigrants, even with our IDs.
Greece is the outer border, right? For some refugees, I think, right?
Yeah, that is very true.
What's the situation there?
I think for a long time I was denying that Greece has a lot of refugees. Not denying it, but I was not watching it. I was not watching very carefully. But now that I let's say work in the center now, I can see I can see how many immigrants we have, and I can see in other countries how the difference. I have never seen something like this, at least until now, to the countries I've been. No other place has so many homeless people in the street and so many immigrants.
It's because of the good weather, right?
I would love to believe so, but no, it's just geographical. About the geographical position of Greece. It's just what you said, the border of Europe at this front, at least.
Because the ones who are the more persistent ones, they make it up to Sweden, right? Some along the way just stay in, I think, Germany. But if I would be just really, really lazy, I would just stay where the weather is the best. Because Greece has the best weather, right?
Yes, but the best, I think it is similar to other places too.
What's your lowest temperature?
-5, -7.
Oh, minus even? Oh.
Come on.
I thought you guys were freezing also already in, I don't know, 15 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, that's not untrue, but I was freezing more in -7.
Yeah, I didn't know that you have even minus degrees.
No, come on. It was not in Greece, actually. Now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
It was in Romania, I think. No, it was -7. Yeah.
But you mean Greece has also below zero temperatures?
Yeah. I think
that's a shame.
Why?
I don't know,
what image did you have in your mind?
Just a sunny hillside. Just a sunny hillside and lots of people drinking.
Have you been to Greece?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, did you go?
And I imagine some people with gray hair in Greece.
Gray hair?
Gray hair.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems so fitting into the picture. Drinking some wine, some ouzo. Having some type of hill, some rock.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and the sea.
very descriptive, I would say, but there are more to it. I didn't come here to sell Greece or to.
Well, you can, because I think after when did the debt crisis start, in 2012?
2008 June.
No. Greece was in the news only afterwards. Like, I think 2012, 2011, 2012.
2009 Athens was already burning from some riots.
Oh, then it didn't get through to us.
Probably.
I'm telling you, I think 2012 was the point, because I remember where I was working at back then, right? And so we were actually discussing where we should go to our exchange trips, because Europe has similar institutions all over the place. So if we can find the other institution and contact them, we can maybe arrange the exchange. And I remember back then we were discussing, should we go to Greece? Should we? Is it safe? Right? And so yeah, because everybody was thinking that if we go to Greece, it's probably a real bargain nowadays over there.
I think it was, because the crisis is still going on. It's not that we had a crisis, we still have a crisis.
But how does it manifest itself? Because the weather is nice still, right? The weather is nice still. You still have a lot of wine, right?
So you think, how can we be sad?
Yeah.
We are not.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So how is it that the crisis is...
How is affecting people?
Ravaging you? It's not really right.
It depends.
It's just your balance sheets are a little bit shady. But who cares about the balance sheets, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, but if you want to have also a good healthcare system or a good insurance system,
you have nice food, nice weather. That's your healthcare. Deal with it.
Don't tell it to me. Tell it to every other Greek person.
But I think I would imagine that probably because of the Mediterranean diet, guys live longer.
I have not seen the statistics, because we also have a lot of fattening meat in our diet. I mean, not fattening meat. Like, a lot of people die from heart attack, but nothing compared to these countries here, like northern ones, since you need more fat to.
Wouldn't you say that is a myth about meat being the cause of heart disease?
No, I would not say that. I mean, if you have cholesterol and fatty stuff in general can cause cholesterol, then yeah, it's like a health risk.
Well, that's what I asked, because most of the cholesterol in your body is not produced, is not coming from food. It's coming internally. I think that's quite an old age myth about fat being the cause of atherosclerosis and heart disease.
Maybe not the main cause, but it's sure not helping.
Well, it might add in some situations, sure.
So you need the balance of both. It's not only about.
But if you would ask me, I would even guess that maybe the wine is a little bit more damaging since it's probably sour, right?
No, and it depends.
The pH is probably sour.
Yeah, it's a bit, but it depends also. No, the one I drink in my village, for example, is pretty sour, I would say.
So I would guess that might contribute to something. But yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, we don't know the statistics. Probably we're at the average, like in
Greece,
the average.
I would guess so. Yeah. Because the French were the paradox country, right?
What?
The French were the paradox country.
Paradox country?
You know the French paradox?
No.
Well, in nutritional science, there's the thing called French paradox, which means that French people, even though they consume a lot of fat, animal fat, they have quite less heart disease than the average, either European or Western society.
I'm sure a lot of stuff influence, like habits. In Greece, for example, it's not common to take a hike. People would think you are crazy if you take a hike. Let's say at the weekend, you meet someone. What are you gonna do this weekend? Like, I'm gonna take a hike in the mountains. Like, what?
Yeah, what would you? Just enjoy the weather. Go sunbathing.
You cannot go sunbathing in the winter. But even if you did, there are benefits to both. Also, hiking is an amazing activity for me, and I would suggest to more people
Sort of, but it's difficult sometimes to hike.
Yeah, of course it's difficult. Life is difficult. What's the...
So what would you say is the most noticeable thing after, let's say, 2012? Because all we heard about Greece is that you had those badass politicians coming into power.
This one. Okay.
One was Yanis and the other one I don't remember. But they somehow managed to rattle up all of Europe in a sense, which is pretty cool. It seemed pretty nice.
From my personal perspective, yes. It looked cool and it's close.
Are they still there?
No, of course not. It depends who you mean by the other one. If you mean Tsipras, which is the
I guess so. So the one was the finance minister and the other one was the
prime minister.
Yeah, prime minister. So
okay, so the finance...
And 2 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The finance minister is long gone from the first year, if I remember correctly.
What, really?
Yeah, because...
I remember even reading a book from him.
Yeah, Yanis
Varoufakis. He's fast.
What?
He's fast.
Yeah, he comes and goes and everything. Yeah, there were... I'm not here to discuss history, but yeah.
Why not? Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, they had the Varoufakis was given the authority to do, let's say, whatever he wanted, according to the party's ideals, of course. And back then, the party's ideals were leftist, not
Social.
very, yeah,
good.
But in the end, it didn't work out. I don't know with who it didn't work out. I mean, Yanis had the plan; they had one or the other, but it was too much pressure, I guess, to the prime minister and the leading party, not only from European Union, but also from inside, from Greece. Maybe it was, although it had the approval of the people, I would say.
So.
Yeah, there were. I mean, we were at the state that fighting is the only thing we thought we could do. Maybe it's actually true.
Reasonable.
Yeah, and because they disagreed at this specific topic, and after the referendum of Greece, I don't know if you heard about it.
What was the referendum about?
There were some policies that we had to implement, and there was our prime minister asked the people, "Do you want to have these measures, or should we go renegotiate?"
Austerity?
Yeah, austerity measures.
All right. So the people said
no.
Screw
I think
off.
60% something, 65.
All right.
But no, of course the austerity measures passed, and
even without the approval.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
I thought that Greece was the seat of democracy. You guys, what happened?
I don't know. Globalism happened, capitalism, whatever. A lot of stuff happened. There are 2,000 years passed since then. So
but still, I would imagine they probably teach you guys in school that we are the we are the originators. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. You know the Greek educational system, I see.
Because I would imagine that should be all over the place, right? Yeah, we did this. We did this.
Yeah, I mean they try to, mask it somehow, with polite words or, also to sugarcoat it with whatever they can. Yeah. But that's pretty much the core of it.
So they became corrupt, is what you're saying.
Who?
Somebody got paid to not listen to the people, right?
I don't think they got paid. It's political influence.
Well, what is political influence other than you get some cheddar?
Power in general, not. Well, it doesn't have to be.
That's where cheddar comes in again.
Yeah, but I don't think it needs to be direct.
Sure. They have some offshore accounts or something like that.
No, when I mean direct, I don't think they
can. Wouldn't it be funny that they have the offshore accounts in some Cyprus bank or something like that?
I don't think. Close. I think it's a fact. It's not funny.
Yeah, but that would be so funny. It's just next door. Yeah, next door. You don't see me.
They are laughing. No, I think probably it was something more like, okay, you don't want to implement these measures? Okay, fine, no help from this or no help from that.
But what kind of help did you guys need? There wasn't really a need for help, right? It was just...
The banks needed help.
See, but that's not really the people though, right? The banks are not the people.
Well, we're talking about government, we're not talking about the society.
About what?
Government.
Well, but the government, shouldn't it represent you guys? Let's be true to our ideals here.
In which country does it actually do that? Okay,
I think
don't
in Switzerland.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe except the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, also those. Well, see,
Yeah, but
you should import back your export.
Greece okay, a nice idea, but now it's too late. Not
Why?
it's
It's only 2019. We have smartphones only for what, 10 years? It's only beginning.
it's too late for a country to survive by itself. That's what I think. I mean, not to have
You can grow your food.
yeah, to have the same standard as now. And think that it's not only the consequence of that we will have on the people, how the people will react after it. Because you can say, yeah, fuck European Union, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
but
you can do the Grexit.
Yeah, of course you can do it. But
Will you do the Grexit?
What?
Will you do the Grexit?
Me personally?
Yes, you.
I'm out of Greece. I'm already doing it.
You already did the Grexit.
No, what was I saying? Yes, that. What was I saying? Remind me.
Well, basically that you want to be a part of the European Union because you benefit from it.
I don't think I was saying pretty much.
Well, that was the point.
Yes. That the country cannot survive on its own because if you cut your ties with European Union, you leave a lot of gaps in society that need to be filled by your own resources.
Are you sure? You would still get tourists, a lot of tourists, right? You would still have your industries that are already in place.
That's one of the problems. We don't have good industries.
Yeah, but you have good weather. That's enough, right? You can just manipulate all the details, right? One is for tourists, the other one for some other attractions, but basically you could attract a lot of money. Either way, and if you would be sovereign, if you would be separate from the European Union, you could decide with whom you want to be friends or not.
Yeah, and again it comes the problem of the people. Maybe this can happen, like after 10 years you get back on your feet, you get the money because you have the tourists, you have imports, you have one and the other. Exports, not imports. But think how the people will react when their prime minister tells them, yes, you know what, we're gonna have a horrible time for 10 years, but we're gonna be cool.
But what is horrible in the Greek standards?
No,
Greek standards.
Now there are no Greek or no Greek standards. There are just Western. In Europe, there are Western country standards, and this is, I don't know, electricity, laptops that you can afford. A healthcare system and educational system.
Well, isn't Bulgaria your neighboring country?
Yes.
So look at the Bulgaria. That's the worst case scenario.
Bulgaria is
it so bad?
Bulgaria is in the European Union.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's the worst case scenario. Bulgaria.
The worst thing that can happen to Greece.
Yeah.
I think Argentina is the worst example that can happen to Greece.
Well, in what time? Argentina 2000s?
Yeah, I think it.
Come on!
Have you heard the people from Argentina? I mean, now it's okay. I think
it was okay, but also back then, it's just it wasn't okay for some New York hedge funds, right? But who cares about them?
I think the people have a lot of power and not a lot of education, so their reaction would be unreasonable. Just based on sentiment. I'm not an economist. I don't know what the consequence.
Well, that means you are more competent to speak about economy than an economist. Let's be honest. That was the whole point of the Yanis.
Okay, then I don't have the experience on economics. So
you're even more qualified then. Because then you go and you see as it is. Not as some theory model would predict you to see it.
I don't think it's so simple.
Well, let's be honest. If the economy would go according to the books, right? This wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Of course, it won't go according to the books, but it will not also go. What do you mean this wouldn't have? I mean, it wouldn't.
Because there's a simple concept in. Natural sciences in general, but there's no negative growth, right? Economy is one of the few sort of social sciences that uses negative growth as an indicator for something, whereas in natural, there's no negative growth, right? You don't have a sack of -10 potatoes, Right? It's not possible. Either the sack is empty or it has some potatoes.
Or are we living in nature now? We're living in our socio-economic, our social.
No, but what
nature.
I'm saying is, let's say I'm an accountant, right? My first profession is an accountant. Second is a legal lawyer, and there is no need for you to consider a negative balance sheet as a reason for you to, let's say, live poorly. There's no real need, right? Simply because there is no negative value or negative currency emission, for instance.
I think I understand what you mean, even though I don't have any experience in this. But think about it's not only now the economic part that is the problem. When you are pressured, for example, you're not pressured only economically. You are pressured with the consequences that a bad economy will have and bad relations with other countries will have.
Yeah, but the economic concerns are still the most important then, still.
It's one of the forefronts.
People predict that in the future, if we don't do this, it will mean X amount of damage or X amount of losses or something like that. Which is not really... That's why I guess the retreat for your mindfulness will come in handy. Because they will teach you just concentrate on the moment. There is no future there. You can not influence the future. You can change. You cannot change the past. Stuff like that. So would you say that Greece is now getting to, I don't know, pre-crisis levels? Economically, politically?
I'd say for sure it's getting better. But pre-crisis level, this is another goal, and maybe it's not even a goal you want to reach. Maybe it was not sustainable. Maybe.
Now you have some, I don't know, automation, some robots.
Yeah, and then what did the workers that worked will do?
Drink wine and enjoy the weather, man. I'm trying to tell you all over the...
I know this is the dream, but unfortunately not in the society the way it is right now. It is...
If I think of Greece, I think of the movie Mamma Mia. Right? Right?
Yes, I was sure this was one of the movies. I would prefer you if you think of the movie Zorba the Greek. That's a nice movie.
What? What movie?
Zorba the Greek.
What? Zod?
Zorba, it's a name.
Ah, Zorba.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's,
so what's the plot?
It's from a book from Kazantzakis. He's one of Greece's best authors. And it's just... actually, it's a depiction of his story in some way.
Is it real or is it fiction?
It's a depiction of his life in some way. Because he actually met a Zorba. He was from Thessaloniki, but it's not the same. But I think it's parallel to the real events.
Yep.
It's a guy. He wants to go back to Crete to open the mine that his family had. They owned some land and there was a mine, and he's thinking about using it, coal mining. I don't know why it was. And he meets a random guy in Piraeus port while he's waiting for the ship, and they start talking, and he asks him to employ him, and stuff happened. Not conflict. How characters react, what Zorba is, what life he tries to live, and you actually get very attached to the character. You see a lot of other perspectives of Greek temperament. I don't know how to... Is
it something criminal in the end?
Criminal?
Yeah, because it sounded like almost like the premise of Scarface.
You mean like he's trying to trick him?
Well, not really trick him, but get involved with some shady people and start dealing drugs and building a drug empire.
No drugs in this film. But it's a very interesting movie and a way more interesting book. The book is...
But what is the twist then?
The twist?
So the guy wants a better life. He wants to go to the land, start mining. Then he meets the guy. Something changes in his plans.
No, the plans are... His plan was to start having a work and doing something in your life. He didn't know why. And he just meets a man that is completely different from him. He's educated. He's just living his life at the moment. That's what is the conflict of characters, and how the one influences the other.
So he sees the different perspective that he hadn't thought of.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what's the end then? Does he do it?
No, what?
Does he do it what he intended?
That's what the book, for example, it shows that they think they're trying to make it fails. The mining thing fails completely. They go the separate ways, but you can see in the end that the author, for example, has changed a lot, and the influence that Zorba left is immeasurable. Like, it's huge in a good way, and I don't want to spoil it, but Zorba dies, but he sends his favorite instrument like Sanduri to the author, but Sanduri also had a huge significance in the movie, because he was saying to him that I can never play Sanduri if I don't feel like it. So it's like life, I would say. You cannot live it if you don't feel like it.
So symbolic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright. So how does the film end? He just walks off?
And the film is the famous scene and more famous song, I would say, Sirtaki. They end dancing in the beach after their failure.
But that's a quite a joyful song, right?
Yeah, it is.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's the I think that's one of the meanings of this movie. Just don't worry about what can you do. Okay, the plan failed. Just dance.
Because we are still in Greece, right?
But you can dance in Italy also.
What are your relations actually to other Mediterranean countries?
My personal relation or
do you have any some stereotypes or some prejudices? Because I would have if I would be Greek, I would probably have prejudices against South Italians.
South specifically?
Yeah. Thinking that they're all criminals.
No, this is Albanians for Greece. This is the prejudice.
Where Albania would be also somewhere.
It's our neighbor.
Oh, all right.
It's like it's also across Italy in the Adriatic Sea. So this is the stereotype in Greece. The Albanians are the criminals.
Because they are. They have criminal rings all over the place.
Well, if you have
There's stuff out there, right? Stuff out there.
If you have a population migrating all over the world, people need to live, and you don't see the immigrants in their best. So probably they're gonna do more than the average, unfortunate stuff. About Italians or Spanish, I don't know.
Spain is quite far, right?
Yeah, but we still consider like all this Spain, Greece, Italy, and Portuguese. I don't know. I think we all consider ourselves similar people.
Wouldn't you have more relations to Turkey?
Yes, but it's a different culture. That's why.
Is it? Yeah.
I haven't been to Turkey, but the difference between the Islamic world and the
but they're not really.
No, I know.
They're not
As
really
people,
Islamic, right? They're just some wishy-washy Islamics.
I haven't been to Turkey.
As far as I can tell, they're pretty European in all of their moral spectrum, but they just call themselves Islamic.
Probably the Turkish people I've met, they're like exactly like Greeks. I just met them all.
They're quite European people. Yeah, it's really astonishing that they are quite probably quite never ready to join the European Union from the EU's perspective. Not from them.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Are they not ready because of that? I mean, it's also symbolic if they join. Like, where does European Union end? Like, what's the cohesion? Then every country would want to enter.
Well, if you ask, I think geography experts, that would probably consider Asia Minor almost like Europe, the subcontinent. Because even Russia is in Europe, at least a part of it. I think Moscow is still in Europe.
Russia is like one of the biggest countries in the Europe also.
Well, that's a funny thing because it didn't really occur to me until I met a girl from Russia who looked totally Japanese.
I think because...
Yeah, but I don't associate, Asian-looking people with Russia, right?
Yeah, it's true. I imagine blonde, blue eyes or crazy.
I just imagine some Adidas sportswear.
Yeah, or this.
That's all. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a big place. So having seen that, it just they speak the same language, but they're not the same people. Definitely not.
if they cannot do this in Greece, or how can they do it in?
What's the story with Greece? Because you guys were a kingdom, right? Fairly recently, right?
What do you call fairly recently?
Wasn't it called the Hellenic Republic or something like that?
It's still called the Hellenic Republic. Our ID says Hellenic Republic.
Oh, really? So I'm confusing a little bit. It was the Hellenic Kingdom, right? Because you had a king.
Yeah, we had a king, but it was after World War
II?
One, not two. After World War II, there were civil wars and stuff like that.
Okay.
Also for kings and stuff.
Yeah.
But we had dictatorships very recently, like at the 69, like 1969.
Real dictatorships or just on paper dictatorships?
What do you call it on paper dictatorship?
Well, there was a leader, but he didn't really do much.
No, there were curfews. There were people sent to islands like communists.
Isn't the whole of Greece an island?
No. It's Malta is island. Greece is not an island. They were sending communists or gay people in the islands or whatever you want.
So they made it more fancy.
The island, yes. The rest of Greece less fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's how it is.
But in general, you still had the king's family, right, living in Greece?
No, we don't have any relations with king's family. No.
Really?
No.
Man, why did I think that you had? Because it's. So when was the republic founded?
The republic founded.
What's your anniversary? Yeah.
We don't have an anniversary.
Oh, really?
Because Greece, after the Ottomans, it started to live like in parts. First at 1821, the revolution started in Peloponnese and this part of Greece,
Okay.
the southern part, and then it got higher and higher and higher until I don't know. I remember the last part that was given back to Greece. It was given to Greece at least. Was around 1940 something.
All right.
Yeah, it was some islands that were just given back to Greece. Or Crete, I'm not sure. So it's a process. So these are the celebrations we have: the start of the revolution against the Ottomans, and the no, like we call it the no celebration, that was sent to the Italians by a dictator we had, let's say.
And that was after the Second World War?
No, that was on the Second World War.
So and after the Second World War, you have the Republic.
Yeah, but there were civil war between. There was a king that was supposed to be enforced by the bigger powers, but it was fought back, so there was no king.
Do you have any relations whatsoever? I mean, the people with ideals of Athens or Sparta?
No, not at all.
Because wouldn't it be cool if you still had some place where you just make some warriors? Nothing else, just warrior people.
I mean, what do you call cool? It was the worst kind of dictatorship and slavery that could happen. Yes, I mean, not the. There's a reason why they had so good warriors.
Yeah,
because they had.
Because they selected.
No, because there were the leading class, the 10,000 warriors, and there were 100 slaves behind them to work the fields and bring food for everyone.
Yeah,
and these slaves were. Disposable. They were for fun. They had a challenge to the kids that they were training that they had to kill a slave without being noticed. That was like an official training part.
Without what being noticed?
By other people.
You mean a silent killing?
Yeah, like assassination, whatever.
Dude, I'm telling you would be. All of Greece would be Navy SEALs by now.
Yes, but 100,000 of Greece, the other 10 million would be slaves. But it would be in Greece, so they would have good weather.
Yes. Now you get my point.
Then my question is, what are you doing in Latvia?
Well, I was born here,
Why
raised
you're
here.
not in Greece?
I've never been to Greece. Maybe I would like it too much.
So you're protecting yourself.
Well, look, if I would be living in Greece, I would just stay in Greece. Since I'm living in Latvia, I just stay in Latvia. Because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Latvia is bad. I think Latvia is. If I would have to be honest, I would say Latvia is probably in the top 10 countries in the world to live.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, from what I see, I think I love it compared to I've been to 15 countries, and I think it's very high on the list.
Well, this is me talking about 2019, right? I'm not talking about maybe in the future some, I don't know, infrastructure technology will change and everything will be more better somewhere else or not. But right now, yeah.
What is so great
Pretty decent.
for at Latvia for you?
Well, I guess the fresh start that we got after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Because I would guess if we would have either continued the Soviet Union or maybe didn't have it in the first place, I think by now people would be quite tired, which are definitely not. I mean, people are almost desperately seeking either opportunities or just ways of improving their circumstances, which I think is in this particular time exactly what is needed, right? Because now we have it's technically an awkward situation, right? The West has such a welfare system that they sort of became lazy in many aspects, and so the Eastern European countries want to catch up, but also they don't want to become them, right? They just want the good things that the Western civilization brought, but they don't want the obesity epidemics or the low IQ or something like that. Right?
Are you thinking only of America?
Well, look, America is but if you have a spectrum, right? You have America. I think when it comes to the advancement of what civilization can bring forth, and you have, I would say, India, right? Which is, you have the sort of, I think America is 4 times smaller than India in population,
yeah,
right? But they probably have at least 4 times GDP than India, at least, probably even more, right? But if you take Indians, for instance, what I'm saying is, in the 21st century, on average, at least those who speak English, and I would guess there are more Indians in the world who speak English better than all of the Americans combined, I would guess so, right? You give them the technology, and how long before they start running things, right? Because they speak the same language, right? They have the same technology, sort of, right? And they have the time on their hands. It's not like the clocks would be slower in America, right? But these people don't have the same. What's it called? The overwhelming comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want to be comfortable because they are not comfortable yet. Whereas these folks, they just sit, eat their chips, watch the Super Bowl. Oh well, I guess Indians look at the cricket.
Which I think so.
Yeah,
that's an interesting way to put it.
Well, now what I see is, here's America, here's India, Latvia is in between, right? We can, at least at this point, we can actually select. Yeah, what do we want? What do we need? We definitely need some IT specialists. We definitely need some ambitions, right? Yeah, but we also need to have some, I don't know, democratic values of sorts. Because I don't know, I think India is being called the biggest democracy in the world.
I mean, by population?
Yeah, well, and as the government form, but I'm not sure if that's really the case, that it's a democracy.
Especially now with their president, is it, or prime minister?
Where, in India?
Yeah,
I don't know.
They have from what I've heard, it's close to being a dictatorship.
India?
Not close, but their their prime minister or president, I don't remember.
Somebody in charge. Yeah.
It's a and his party, I don't remember this either. They are primarily Hindu, and they are also promoting and excluding the other part of the community.
Well, probably the Islamic people, right?
Yeah.
Because I think the second biggest group was the Islamists.
Yeah, of course.
I think so.
And they have a lot of. They are talking also about youth, youth armies and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that stuff doesn't fly. Look, here's the funny thing, right? Even though you have America with its big wealth and India with its big lack of wealth, both have smartphones and the internet, which means that young people don't really care much about conflicts, or they just want to watch, I don't know, Game of Thrones and cat videos and stuff like that.
You underestimate what mob psychology can do to people.
Look, if you give people young enough pocket-sized computers, they won't bother with some old folk conflicts with Pakistanis or whatever. They just don't care about that.
I disagree on the. I see it every day. Not phones for the average, not the average person. For the one that was supposed to be uneducated will still be uneducated. It won't make him educated.
But at least he has Google in his pocket.
Yeah, he does, but he needs to know what to Google. If he Googles, I don't know, something a simple sentence, you need to know what to read. Not pick, but read more than one thing. It's a mentality. It's not only.
I see what you mean. Don't you think that it's almost inevitable if you consume enough? If you consume online content for long enough, you will come across something that sparks your interest, your imagination, and your willingness to actually get out of your situation that you are currently in and sort of try to improve your surroundings. It's just inevitable.
I don't think it's inevitable. On the contrary, the way web is designed, and because what you say, young people have smartphones, but what they use them for? Social media and watching videos on YouTube. So what are social media gonna promote? The will of the masses.
Mindfulness, buddy.
But
I'm telling you, they will look at cat videos, some porn, and inspiring quotes. That's what.
I'm sure Hitler could have some very inspiring thoughts, quotes also. Everything can be an inspiring quote.
See, that's the thing. If Hitler was alive now, he wouldn't have a chance to persuade any population.
Do you really believe that?
Yes. Because what comes the closest to some charismatic leaders nowadays? I would say Donald Trump. In America.
That's what I was. That was my example. But even with all these smartphones and stuff, you still have the person that you have in the strongest country in the world.
Yeah, and what do? They criticize him left and right.
Yeah, I mean Hitler was criticized by half of his country also. Yeah. But he still was in power. It doesn't matter who criticizes you if you have the power.
Here's the thing: is he though? Because. You probably know about the investigation that was started because of his ties to Russia, right? And so what they did, I think they researched it for 2 years or something like that, and they came out recently with their results. And so what they concluded was, well, on several occasions, Donald Trump was actually giving sort of illegal orders, but nobody executed on them. So basically nothing illegal happened, because even though Donald Trump wanted something to happen, nobody did what he said of his staff.
Well, I also think that...
See, if Hitler would be there, it would be the same thing. Yeah, we definitely, we are going to screw the screws in the gas chamber. Yeah. Right? It wouldn't have happened.
But I don't think, again, it's not that simple. It's still, now it's not a dictatorship. It's a more globalized world. The American people,
which is a benefit for all the masses.
It's a benefit if you want to keep the stability and the status quo. Yeah, it's a benefit. But if you want to,
is it though? Because think about it this way: the status quo is changing almost every year. No. It used to be the case that maybe once in a decade something comes up that somehow changes a generation. Now it's almost every year something dramatic happens where people start to think and wonder. The intensity and the frequency of altering events is just increasing and increasing due to the fact that you can communicate so fast.
Yeah, but I think
I think it was for the Arab Spring, right? They said
yes.
Without mobile phones it wouldn't have happened.
Yes, but I think the importance of these changes lose their like people get used to more and more change.
Yeah.
So they want an even bigger change if they want to.
Which is not that bad, right?
Well, if you want
maybe
to,
up to a point.
Yeah, that's what there will be a point which stuff happen and you're like, yeah, okay, that happened last year also. Maybe now terrorist attack are more like not uncommon, but they don't touch the people so much.
Well, look at it this way: the thing would be that everything that is pleasant might be maybe faster forgotten, but everything that's more let's say unpleasant or maybe even destructive would be even harsher looked upon.
Yeah, but that
and maybe even gotten rid of because of the fact.
That is again not so similar. That it gives the opportunity.
Imagine if you go through your Facebook feed, you see one cute kitten video after another, and then you see a beheading from ISIS, right? Oh, who posted this nonsense, right? And so now you have to figure out where this came from, and maybe you can make it faster than ever before, because now you can track them probably and see how where and when they uploaded it. So special operations guys can just go and take them out.
Yeah, but that gives
so you can continue to watch your cute kitten videos.
That gives the opportunity to the ones that, let's say, control the social media to channel what they...
Oh yeah, but do you want ultimately no control or oversight over social media? Think about it this way. Then it would be all just some nonsense bots posting nonsense automatic messages, and people who just want to stay anonymous, which is also nonsensical.
I mean, it's up to the people that watches the feed of the social media. If he has the proper education, he can sort them out. Oh, this is propaganda.
Yeah, but that's why the overseers are there to assist you in that. If you want to see beheadings of people, right? The internet allows you to find them. It's not like they censor it all, but you don't see them on Facebook, right? Because it's violence.
Even in normal Google, I don't think you can find it, at least not easily.
You can. Well, I don't know. It depends on the keywords, I guess. But I think it's called GORE, gore.
Ah, yes.
So if you just Google gore videos, because there are specific sites for that. So every terrorist video, some surveillance camera video that shows something terrible happening, yeah, it's usually out there.
You got it.
Well, I get it from people on YouTube, right? Because they start talking about, did you see the video where somebody, and so they speak about it. Oh yeah, I saw it on this and this website, right? And then you say, oh right, this is how it works. You have the what's it called? The iceberg, the part of the iceberg that you see, right? Which would be YouTube, I don't know, Twitter. Does anybody use Twitter?
Everything with Google is up the iceberg.
Yeah, and then you have the what's it called, either deep web or something like that, right? And I think that's where this part is the most interesting part for people. And so once you give people all the people access to it, they start figuring things out. It's not like somebody wants bad things to happen on a day-to-day basis. It's just that if something happened and somebody has information about it, people are curious.
Yeah, but also to censor everything is also, it's dangerous. Where do you draw the line?
That would be China, right?
Yes, also China.
And I think they are pretty content. Well, at least officially.
I mean, even if they don't see the change of their own.
But imagine if you would be the first guy to actually hack the system and somehow be able to distribute porn amongst Chinese people. You'd probably make $1 billion.
Yeah,
Probably make $1 billion. Because it's not like the demand is not there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the government tries to somehow or another mingle with all the technology, so you don't have access to different things.
I mean, I don't think it's so hard for Chinese people to get access to mainstream internet.
I think it's quite difficult for them because even with the VPN, they don't have easy access. Well, I would imagine in Hong Kong, yes. In Hong Kong, maybe in the biggest cities.
Count.
Sort of, yes. But other than that, I think they really 90% of the time they just live on the. I don't remember what the app was called, but basically they have the app for messaging, social networking.
Is it
payments,
the one that also checks their status, like if they're
the social credit?
Yeah, this one. But
it might be. Yeah.
I don't think it has launched like officially yet. I hope it doesn't, and it didn't just pass through everybody's mind.
What?
The application that are supposed to see their social credit and between each other and.
I think they have the system, but I don't know how they monitor it though. But they definitely have the system because you need to. Because I think they even use their mobile phones not just to make the payment. They sometimes use it to authenticate themselves, to identify themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have something attached to your name as a bad social credit, you might not get the passenger seat on the train or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. If it has been implemented to this degree that you'll get actual bad consequences if you have a bad social credit.
Yeah, the system is overall already in place. Yes,
I mean
at least that's what the documentary says.
For the banks, I understand it, but does it also work for small stuff like that, or does it? Okay, even if it works for small stuff, it's okay. It matters like if it also counts your interaction between these people. Like if I have a friend with low social social credit, do I also get lower?
Oh no. It's about your actions, and I guess the only problem would be that some people could actually conspire against you, and then make up something and then basically you would get bad social credit for but you didn't do anything.
I mean, still, what we were saying, what I was trying to say, that you see that the influence of technology and globalization is not so simple. Like, it's not one-sided.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, everything that has to do with humans is simple, even more simple than you could think of, because you don't have to think.
I don't think
people are just feeling monkeys, right? They are purely acting on instinct.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the conscious brain does something for them, but usually it's just to get something to eat and tie their shoes.
But the system that is not the monkey. The system is the forest.
The forest?
Yeah.
In what way?
In the way that it grows in a specific way.
The what? The market?
Yeah, the market. I mean, and for example, the Chinese government does not want outside influence in China.
Who? China. Chinese government?
Yeah, Chinese government.
Yeah.
They don't want the outside influence in China. It's easy. Just cut the internet limit their access to the internet.
Yeah.
So.
But they have
there are people that
1.5 billion people though, right? It's just a matter of time when somebody just starts either a riot or maybe just hacks the system. Because if you have a system that's totally based on surveillance technology, at one point in time somebody will hack it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a saying: nothing cannot be not hacked. Nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What's the incentive of a person to do that?
To hack? Well, it's the same incentive to just climb the Mount Everest for the first time.
Okay.
Again, it's not nothing rational per se. It's just the simple fact that humans are simple beings. They react to their environment. I think that's what. Look, if you will go to the mindfulness project and you encounter the name Eckhart Tolle, just be prepared, man.
I don't know him.
Because he's I think the mindfulness guru in the world. Well, he's the one who's basically written almost all of the books.
I thought this was Paulo Coelho.
Who?
Paulo Coelho.
No, that was the one who
The
wrote
Alchemist.
The Alchemist. Yeah.
Hey, mindfulness and pretty much.
I don't know. Was the Alchemist about mindfulness?
It was about
It was
change and personal
Yeah, it was
development.
it was about accepting and making the best of situations, right? In a sense.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone is trying to. Every mindfulness technique is this: just accept what's happening. Life is the way it is, and try to make the best of it.
Sort of, yeah. And Eckhart Tolle is the one who basically says you shouldn't even consider the possibility of rationalizing. Well, I might be misquoting here, but the basic idea was that you don't have to be ashamed of your feelings. You have to, first of all, be aware of your feelings, and then not suppress them, and third, maybe try to channel them. Right? And the channeling part is the most tricky thing because, in a sense, his point was you feel in the now, so don't let your intellectual brain affect your feelings about something that was in the past or in the future, because the feeling will be totally in the present. So you should actually align your intellectual brain with your emotional awareness, because the emotional awareness is acting only in the present. It cannot act in the past, it cannot act in the future. But your intellectual brain can actually work in the past tense, in the future, right? But since it's able to act in different realms, it's sort of impacting your emotional well-being, and the emotional well-being is acting only in the present. So basically, he says, don't piss you off. Don't piss yourself off, right? And that's about it.
I mean, that's a very good advice for life in general. So you don't need to read too much into it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Don't lose your temper for anything if you can.
It's really weird because usually I would say that it's either a result of long meditations or people who have not really suffered, but they know pain. People who know a lot of pain
Or
come across the same.
I would use a simple word, just impassionate people, that they don't have strong emotions.
Well, no, impassionate would be blunt, but that wouldn't be. They would be lifeless.
Yeah.
Impassionate.
How do you like differentiate between lifeless and
Well,
calm?
You just. Do you use Instagram?
No.
But have you heard of the dude Dan Bilzerian dude? So he's basically a rich dude who became really, really famous on Instagram because he posted a lot of pictures with himself and almost nude women, because Instagram doesn't allow full nudity.
Maybe
right?
I've heard about it.
So he's called the Instagram king, or king of Instagram, right? And so his method was, he basically is many times showing himself either at parties or with good-looking girls, or just shooting different guns and rifles.
Okay.
Right? Some really simple stuff.
I know which one.
It's not like he's in lab code in the laboratory doing something complicated, right? But he was asked in an interview, so why does he live the life he's living? And he said I think probably the most in tune answer you could get. He said, I figured out that life is all about setup. You don't want to be messing around with circumstances in the moment. You want to think ahead of the time. You want to set up your daily routines, your daily you have to have a daily structure that facilitates your interests. So basically he was saying that once he got money, and since he only wanted to have sex with the girls, he basically figured out a way to attract the girls to his events, right? Because he doesn't pay them. That's where the funny part is. Even though he's rich, he doesn't pay the girls, right? He says, I'm not inviting prostitutes. Those are women who are on their own terms there. But I make the setup that I have a nice party, I have nice things to do, right? And so we have those events and all the things we do, and so they come, and and I don't have to do a thing.
So what's your what's your point? Why you are referring to this?
Well, because it's sort of reflecting on all the basic human emotions, right? The security of the wealth he has, the sexual attraction that he uses in his favor, and I guess the status or the social status in general. He basically covers all the bases for a human being in an honest answer. Life is all about setup. You don't want to be messing around in the moment. You want to think ahead of the time and have all set up. So everything just falls in place according to your plan. And if something's out of the plan, you just adjust.
Yes, you can draw this conclusion, but you can also draw the conclusion that he's just a guy that is insecure.
Insecure about what?
About his who he is. That he is not accepted. So he needs all this validation by women, for starters, and then by all the existence of Instagram.
But but he's not promoting himself, right? He's just basically doing what everybody does on Instagram, just taking photos of his life. And that's the funny part. It's not like he's acting out a role, right? He's just taking pictures of his daily events. But his daily events are, compared to a normal person, so crazy, so out of the proportion that he attracted a lot of followers, because his daily routine is something extraordinary for most people.
But where did he get the original, the funding because to live a life of luxury?
According to him, he is a professional poker player. So he amassed a lot of money during his years as a poker player.
So again, it's not something that a person that does not have the specific skills can implement in his life.
Yeah, but he wasn't also planning to be where he is. He just basically he liked poker. He knew he was good at it, so he pursued that. And once he made money, he just used the next opportunities that presented, and used them accordingly.
Why did he need to use the Instagram after that?
Why does anybody needs to use the Instagram?
Validation.
It's tricky because in one way you are right. Some people do need to sort of feel the attention to feel alive. That's true. Some, and I guess that would be for most, some use it as an opportunity to facilitate something that they are not really aware of they could facilitate. Look at it this way. During this episode, right, we talked about different things. One of them was USA, India, Greece, Latvia, right? So my thought is, if I take these 4 words, use them as tags or hashtags or whatever, right? Maybe, but just maybe, somebody from these countries in some way or another will find this video and find the particular part of the video where we discussed the separate topic, right? And maybe find it interesting. Or maybe we actually want to engage even more. In what ways? I don't know. But I'm just creating something that might be useful in some combination or another, or not. But because what was the principle? You can fail if you try, but if you don't try at all, you will fail definitely. Right?
Yeah, but it's a double-edged blade, whatever. That yes, it has the opportunity to do that, to promote yourself and to help others reach out to you. But you need to be careful. You must not lose yourself just for the sake of social validation.
You shouldn't be something that you're not.
Not Yeah, of course.
No, but look at it this way. A lot of people like at least temporary exits from reality. And that goes for people on the screen and also on the sofa looking at the screen.
But I think it's a road. Like it has these steps. You start by checking out some few posts and like, oh, that's interesting. Then you start to spend more time on it and take this time away from reading books that could help you in a more constructive way, or actually thinking about what's happening in your life, because scrolling is easy. I can understand. I have found enjoyment in scrolling because it actually gets you away from the reality. But the drawback is so big that even the advantage you are saying, I don't know. Sometimes I feel maybe it's not worth it. Maybe just fuck it. Just delete your Instagram and live as as you would otherwise. Just live in the now. And I'm saying this without even having the mindfulness project yet.
Yeah. Wouldn't you say though that it also allows you to see of the potential in life? Because in a way you kind of look at something that you might be interested in yourself, for you personally, right? If I see the Dan Bilzerian guy, I'm not thinking, look at him, he's so pitiful with all this cash and all these beautiful women around him. It's not like, damn, I don't know how I would enjoy myself when I would be in his shoes, right?
No, I understand, but I think it speaks what you get from the pictures. It speaks to your basic level.
Emotions, that's what I'm saying. Because social media in general just reflects the basic emotions a human has, right? There will be some fundamental curiosity, either it would be emotional stability, social validation, whatever the case may be, but it reflects. It's like social media is almost like an emotional mirror for people.
Yeah, there are many ways to see it. That you can. There are these basic needs, but we have reached a certain point in society that we don't have to think about. We have to hunt for our food every day. So we have, which means we don't need survival needs and instant gratification. We need to think ahead for ourselves. And what would make a more stable, like what would make me more stable? And this is not the instant gratification of having a woman in my bed or something like this. It would be being okay with who I am and a lot more stuff that rather than instant gratification, I would say.
And the biggest difficulty is not to say that you don't like to engage in the instant gratification. The biggest difficulty is that you have to have some form of discipline to say, all right, this is how much I indulge in instant gratification, and this is how much I indulge in disciplined, constructive effort to get me ahead somewhere that I want to be. So it's not like you wouldn't be able to look at Instagram and then on the same day read books, right?
Of course you
could. It's totally possible. The only question would be, if there wasn't an Instagram, would you really say that more people would be reading books? So this is a tricky one, let's be honest.
Of course it's a tricky one, but for sure they wouldn't be on the Instagram, and they wouldn't be distracting themselves from. Maybe they would find a new way to distract themselves.
That's what I mean. It's actually just, look at it this way. Usually people were bored out of their minds and they still didn't participate in some activities that would actually allow them to advance in some way, right? They just I don't know, did nothing, or met with some other people and did nothing, got drunk, whatever.
Even getting drunk with other people is more constructive than looking at pictures of Instagram, for me.
Ooh, you sure? Well, don't get me wrong, sometimes it is, but would you say in general? I'm not sure.
I think in general.
Really? See, that's the Greek talking in you.
Is the drunk part that is making you skeptical of it? If it was just drinking tea and talking about...
Because you could actually meet up with people and discuss books.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when you discuss in general, if it's not about, okay, if you speak 100% of the time about, yes, this lady is nice, this lady is not nice.
Because that happens.
Yeah, but
you basically could actually meet up with people and discuss the same things you would otherwise just see on Instagram.
Yes,
right?
but out of the 100 times that you will meet and talk with someone, maybe, let's say 5 times you will talk about something different that is gonna help you. But on Instagram, there's no talking, there's no like back and forth. You're just seeing stuff that you already approve of.
But it's interesting that you look at it this way, because you are the master of the content you see.
Exactly.
But you are not the master of the people who you meet. I mean, yes, it might be your friend, but sometimes even your friend says some stupid nonsense.
Yeah,
right?
that's the good part about not being the master of it. Seeing new stuff.
Yeah.
If I choose
you can imitate it on social media though. You can switch it up.
Yeah, but you will not do it. Because you know if you had the power, you would only hang out with yourself 20 more times if you could do it. Yeah. But in Instagram you pretty much can't do it. But in real life you don't have the opportunity, so you are forced to new ideas and to reevaluate yourself all the time. So it's not.
Have you heard of the saying that you are the sum of the closest 5 people around you?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so if your 5 people are just total nut jobs, right? It doesn't help you. And but then you go on some social media and look at some dude who's achieved so much success and is willing to share his knowledge.
And say, then you scroll.
This should be my friend.
No,
right?
You see them and then you scroll more. You see the next
scroll more, but you see more of him in the long period.
Yeah, but and also what you said about the 5 friends, you also choose your friends. You just don't choose every aspect of their personality.
How would you be able to if you don't have any social media? Then you just are sort of dependent on your proximity.
Well,
to the people.
I think also you are from the age that you didn't meet your friends through. At least if you have old friends, you didn't meet your school friends through social media.
Yeah.
So was it?
But I keep contact with them many times because you go your separate ways.
The keeping contact part is different rather than the feed.
Is it though?
I mean, okay, it's not the same as meeting them and having the same, the same interaction.
Yeah.
But you just said keep in contact, not hanging out.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Without that, I would forget about him. It's like if you live, let's say you are out of Greece, right? If you wouldn't have any way of contacting on a day-to-day basis your people in Greece, and let's say you are staying in Latvia or outside of Greece for many years, you would lose touch.
Yeah, but is it that bad? I will get touch with different people. I mean,
well, I see what you mean, but now you at least have the option to have that and as well keep that.
Yeah, but it's not so simple.
Unless you want to forget everything in Greece. That's about it.
Still, you need to live. I'm here in Latvia. I shouldn't be worried about what's happening back in Greece.
Look at you. That's I guess that's step number 1 in mindfulness training.
Yeah, I know I'm not close to the meditation stuff, but I think the mentality, I understand it and I totally agree with it. To being here in the now.
Even though I would guess you still would have some situations where you will feel sort of culturally obliged to act in a different way than people are acting here, because you are from Greece.
Yeah, probably. But okay, this is my.
That's your training. That's your what's it called? Your programming.
Yeah,
almost.
I cannot erase it, but I can erode it. It can go away slowly if I wanted to.
Yeah. See, that's the beauty of it. If you want, it allows you to reprogram stuff you like or don't like.
Traveling allows you that, not social media.
I don't know, traveling. Think about it this way: if you wouldn't meet anybody during your travels, what would it change for you? Nothing.
Everything.
No.
Yes.
You would just see some mountains and that's about it.
If I didn't meet anyone, that would be it.
That would be boring.
Yes.
Yeah. So the point of traveling is actually communicating with people.
Exactly.
See?
with new people.
Yeah, and then it's just a matter of convenience because there are only 24 hours in a day. There are so many kilometers that you can travel in a certain period of time. But on Instagram, you can just contact the whole world probably.
Contact, you just see one.
Yeah, it's not
Like
it's,
they
it's
have
not,
1,000 layers.
It's the next best thing, is what I'm saying. It's the next best thing.
I don't think so. It's the next most convenient thing, but it's not the best one. It's just
No, it's the next best thing.
I don't agree. I think it's just very convenient. It's not. Would be better to just chat with someone. Just use Facebook, only the chat of Facebook.
Yeah, well, that is the next best thing.
Yeah, but not the feed, not the Instagram sensation to.
Oh well, look, you still once somebody posts something, you sort of encounter his attitude, his personality. You sort of engage in a sort of not necessarily a dialogue, but still it's a communication back and forth. Because if you would, let's say, see a YouTube video, you can press dislike, right? You engage with the content. It's not like he would be sitting and waiting for you to press something, but still on a general spectrum, it's still somewhat what's it called, interacting.
Yes, but would you post your Instagram your worst moments or the?
Well, actually, good that you mentioned. We should take an Instagram post, right? And actually, you will probably have to move, right? Because you said you wanted to be at 9.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's about time. So do you have an Instagram account at least?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. See, what did I tell you about Dan Bilzerian? It's nice.
This is the only thing
Nice.
you need in your life. Just type Pornhub. Thanks for the advertising.
No, actually, I got this phone 5 or 6 weeks ago. Before that, I didn't have any of the social media accounts.
And was it worse?
Dude, look, there's a tortoise eating a chick's boob.
This is the pinnacle of enjoyment for you?
That's a pinnacle of social media right there.
Exactly.
How many hours did some mathematicians, some programmers work their asses off so we can enjoy this? Right? So...
That is a sad thought.
So let me try. It's my 4th.
Don't worry, I have never tried it.
Really? It's just that. Oh, maybe I should do it like this. Oh, because it's a little bit weird.
Can use the selfie camera, I guess.
No, then it changes the sides. All right.
From Greece.
Damn. Oh, it's only me. Wait a second. Oh, it's a video. Look.
Oh, now.
Damn.
Now I see your point.
That's a hilarious video. You have to admit that. So, alright, let me try. Damn. I think I get the hang of it. Can you move a little bit?
I think
to there.
your fingers don't go.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, wait a second. Did I? No, it was alright.
It looks that you are new with this phone.
Totally. But I don't know why it's. Oh, no, it made a photo. So. Oh, man. It made a correct photo, but it was blurry. I guess I need to wait for
just take 3 or 4.
Yeah, now it's at least somewhat stable.
Yeah, perfect for me.
All right, so any final thoughts? Because the time flies.
Yeah, and we jump from topic to topic, and but
Well, was there any topic you would have liked to discuss specifically?
I mean, the last one was very interesting to me. Yes.
Social media?
Yes, and the impact that it has on, in general, whatever it has to do with the human condition, I love it.
Wow. See, do you think it's more of a philosophical strain in you?
Yes,
I'm
sure it is. But you know, I am what I am. It's okay.
And how long will you be in Latvia?
In 2 more days. I was here since Friday, and 2 more days. And it's amazing being here.
You know what? I should hashtag some Greek something. Right? Greece has almost 30 million mentions.
Really?
Yeah. Now
More than people?
I guess so. So how many people do live
10 million.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, you have 15 minutes. I think we should probably wrap it up.
Yes.
I can send you the video afterwards, or the link, I mean.
I will just watch from your channel.
Sure, yeah. All right, man. Thanks.
Thank you also.